My beloved child, wait, don't scroll away. Before this moment passes, you need to hear something that was placed on your path for a reason. What if the next 24 hours become the turning point you have been praying for without even realizing it? Most people will ignore what they are about to hear, and because of that, they will miss what was quietly unfolding around them. But you are still here. That alone is worth noticing. Don't skip, because something huge is waiting for you. There are moments when heaven works in silence, not through loud announcements, but through small, unexpected shifts that suddenly change everything. You may have looked at your life recently and wondered why certain doors stayed closed, why some answers never came, or why your heart kept feeling like it was waiting for a page that had not yet been written. Yet what if those delays were never punishment? What if they were preparation? The next 24 hours are not about luck. They are about perspective. God often surprises His people in ways they never planned, opening opportunities, restoring hope, or giving unexpected peace exactly when it is needed most. Stay till the end, because what seems ordinary today may become the beginning of a testimony tomorrow. Look closely at what happens around you after this message. Not because every event is a miracle, but because sometimes God gently redirects your attention toward what truly matters. You may receive a conversation you did not expect. You may discover a new idea that changes the direction of your next step. You may suddenly find clarity where confusion once lived. Or perhaps the greatest surprise will happen inside your own heart, replacing fear with courage and uncertainty with quiet confidence. Chosen one, that is how many life-changing moments begin, not with noise, but with a whisper that says, "Keep walking. Don't skip now. Something huge is waiting for you." Every challenge you have faced has been teaching you something that will soon make sense. The pieces may look scattered today, but God sees the complete picture. Even when you cannot connect the dots, He already knows how the story unfolds. The surprise is not always that your circumstances change overnight. Sometimes the greatest miracle is that you become stronger than the circumstance itself, and from that strength, new doors begin to open one after another. Now hold on for just a little longer, because this is where many people stop listening, and they miss the most important truth. If you have been carrying silent questions, wondering whether your efforts matter or whether your prayers have been heard, remember this: God's timing has never been late, even when it feels different from your own. The next 24 hours are an invitation to stay hopeful, to stay faithful, and to remain ready for opportunities you cannot yet see. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Refuse to let doubt write the ending of a story that God is still writing. Keep your heart open. Keep your eyes lifted. Expect wisdom instead of fear, peace instead of panic, and purpose instead of confusion. Because the greatest surprises are often the ones that arrive quietly, leaving you to look back later and realize that this was the very moment everything started changing. There is another reason you are still listening right now, chosen one. It is not because you accidentally found this message. It is because your heart has been searching for reassurance while your spirit has been preparing for something greater than you imagined. Pause for a moment and think about the last few days. Haven't there been moments that seemed confusing, delays that made no sense, or conversations that left you wondering why they happened? What if none of those moments were random? What if they were quietly positioning you for what the next 24 hours are about to reveal? Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. God often works behind the scenes long before we notice the results. While you were waiting, He was arranging. While you were questioning, He was guiding. While you were feeling overlooked, He was preparing opportunities that only the right time could uncover. The surprise is not simply about receiving something new. It is about recognizing that God has been moving all along, even when everything looked still. When that realization reaches your heart, fear begins to lose its power, and hope starts growing again. Picture yourself waking tomorrow with a different mindset. Not because every problem has disappeared, but because you finally understand that your future is not controlled by your fears. One unexpected phone call, one encouraging conversation, one fresh opportunity, one peaceful decision, or one small act of kindness can redirect an entire season of your life. That is how God often surprises His children. The blessing may begin with something that looks ordinary, but later you realize it changed everything. Don't skip this moment, because something huge is waiting for you. Some people are so focused on what they have lost that they cannot see what is quietly approaching. Do not let that become your story. Lift your eyes beyond today's disappointment. There is strength growing inside you that yesterday's version of you never had. There is wisdom being formed through every challenge you survived. And there is a confidence that can only come from trusting God one step at a time. The next 24 hours may not look the way you expected, but they can still become one of the most meaningful moments of your journey if your heart remains open to His direction. Before this message ends, hold on to one final thought. Never underestimate what God can accomplish through a single day. 24 hours may seem like a short amount of time, but history has changed in less. Lives have been transformed in less. Hearts have found peace in less. And countless people have discovered that the breakthrough they were waiting for began with one simple decision: to keep believing instead of giving up. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. Let expectation replace doubt. Let faith become stronger than uncertainty. Walk into the coming hours with quiet confidence, knowing that God sees every step you take and every prayer you have whispered. The surprise is closer than you think, and the next part of this journey will reveal why what seems small today could become the beginning of something far greater than you ever imagined. Listen carefully, chosen one, because this may be the moment everything begins to make sense. There is a reason your spirit has refused to give up, even when your mind wanted to. Deep inside, something has been telling you to keep moving forward, even when the road looked uncertain. That quiet feeling was not empty hope. It was the reminder that God never stops working, even when you cannot see the full picture. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Over the next 24 hours, pay attention to the moments that seem too small to matter. A single sentence, a new idea, an unexpected meeting, or even a moment of peace can become the beginning of a brand new direction. God often hides extraordinary blessings inside ordinary moments so that only those who remain faithful recognize them. Many people will rush through their day without noticing what heaven is placing in front of them. But you have the opportunity to slow down, stay alert, and recognize that every step can carry purpose when it is guided by God. Think about how many times you believed a closed door meant the end, only to discover later that it protected you from the wrong path. Now imagine that the same God who guided you through those seasons is preparing another unexpected turn. Not a turn filled with fear, but one filled with wisdom, peace, and fresh confidence. The next 24 hours are not about chasing signs everywhere. They are about walking faithfully and allowing God to surprise you in His own perfect way. Don't skip, because something huge is waiting for you. Every disappointment has been shaping your character. Every delay has been strengthening your patience. Every unanswered question has been teaching you to trust even when you could not understand. What felt like wasted time may soon reveal itself as necessary preparation. When the right opportunity arrives, you will realize you were never forgotten. You were simply being prepared for something that required a stronger version of you. Now stay with me for just a little longer, because the next truth could change the way you look at the coming day. The greatest surprise is not always the blessing itself, it is discovering that God was closer than you ever realized. While you were wondering if He heard your prayers, He was already opening the next chapter. While you were waiting for a breakthrough, He was quietly building the foundation beneath your feet. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Walk into the next 24 hours with expectation instead of anxiety, with gratitude instead of worry, and with confidence instead of fear. Keep your heart open, your faith steady, and your eyes fixed on the goodness of God. Because when this season finally unfolds, you will look back on this very moment and realize it was not just another message. It was the reminder you needed before God began revealing what He had been preparing for you all along, before you move on, chosen one. There is one truth that many people never discover until it is too late. They keep asking God for a miracle while overlooking the quiet opportunities He has already placed within reach. But you are different. You have stayed here for a reason. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The next 24 hours may not begin with dramatic signs or loud announcements. Instead, they may begin with one unexpected moment that seems almost ordinary. That is often how God works. He plants the greatest changes inside the smallest beginnings. A new thought may enter your heart. A burden you have carried for months may suddenly feel lighter. A conversation may give you the courage you have been searching for. What appears small today could become the very story you will one day share with gratitude. Trust that God knows exactly how to reach you at exactly the right moment. Now imagine looking back tomorrow evening and realizing that something inside you has changed. Not because everything around you became perfect, but because your faith became stronger than your fear. There are blessings that cannot be measured by money or possessions. Peace is a blessing. Wisdom is a blessing. Clarity is a blessing. The confidence to keep walking when you cannot see the entire path is one of God's greatest gifts. Don't skip, because something huge is waiting for you. Every prayer you have whispered has been heard. Every tear has been noticed. Every moment you chose hope instead of despair has been shaping the person God is calling you to become. You may not recognize it immediately, but heaven has been preparing you for this season long before you realized it. The surprise waiting ahead is not arriving by accident. It is arriving with purpose, and every step you have taken has been leading toward it. One final thought before this chapter closes. Never allow today's uncertainty to convince you that tomorrow has no promise. God's plans are never limited by the obstacles you can see. What feels impossible to human eyes is never beyond His wisdom. So lift your head, take the next step with courage, and expect His goodness to meet you in ways you never imagined. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. The story is only beginning, and the next part will reveal why the coming hours may hold a beautiful surprise that has been quietly moving toward you all along. There is one last layer to this message that cannot be ignored, chosen one. If you have stayed this long, it means your heart is searching for more than answers, you are searching for direction. And this is where many people miss what God is doing. They expect every blessing to arrive with instant certainty, yet God often prepares His children by teaching them to trust before they fully understand. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. As the next 24 hours unfold, refuse to measure your future by yesterday's disappointments. God is not limited by what did not happen before. He can create new possibilities from places you had already given up on. A door you stopped knocking on may no longer matter because He is preparing a better one. A path that once looked impossible may suddenly become clear. The surprise is not about predicting the future, it is about discovering that God's guidance has been leading you even through the moments you thought were meaningless. Look closely at your own journey. Every setback has quietly taught you resilience. Every unanswered prayer has deepened your patience. Every season of waiting has strengthened your ability to recognize what truly matters. That is why you should not fear what comes next. God never wastes the lessons of yesterday when He is preparing tomorrow's blessing. Don't skip, because something huge is waiting for you. There is a peace that arrives before the breakthrough. There is a confidence that appears before the opportunity. And there is a quiet assurance that reminds you that your story is still being written. Hold on to that assurance. Let it shape your decisions over the coming hours. Walk with gratitude instead of anxiety. Choose faith instead of fear. Even the smallest act of kindness, the simplest conversation, or the unexpected idea placed on your heart could become the beginning of something far greater than you imagine today. As this moment comes to a close, remember one thing above all else. God is not asking you to know every detail of tomorrow. He is inviting you to trust Him with the next step. That is how extraordinary journeys begin. Not with complete certainty, but with faithful obedience. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The next 24 hours may reveal opportunities you never expected, restore hope where you once saw only silence, and remind you that no sincere prayer is ever forgotten. Keep your eyes open. Keep your heart steady. Keep believing that God is working, even when you cannot yet see the full picture. Because when you look back on this season, you may realize that the greatest surprise was not simply what God did around you, it was who He was shaping you to become all along. A quiet question is rising in this very moment, chosen one: what if the answer you've been chasing isn't somewhere far away? What if God has already placed it within reach, and the next 24 hours are simply the moment when your eyes finally recognize it? Think about that carefully. Some of the greatest blessings in Scripture arrived when people least expected them, not because God had forgotten them, but because His timing was perfect. The same God who guided them is still guiding hearts today. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. You have spent enough time wondering whether your prayers matter. They do. You have spent enough nights questioning whether your efforts were seen. They were. Even when nothing appeared to be changing, God was shaping your character, strengthening your faith, and preparing you to carry what is coming next. If He had given it to you too soon, you might not have been ready. But now, something is different. There is a quiet confidence growing inside you, and that confidence is not coming from circumstances, it is coming from knowing that God never abandons those who continue to trust Him. As the next 24 hours unfold, refuse to let fear become the loudest voice in your mind. Instead, listen for the gentle reminders that God places in your path. A conversation may encourage you. A decision may suddenly become clear. A burden you have carried for months may begin to feel lighter. These moments may seem small, but never underestimate what God can do through what appears ordinary. Don't skip, because something huge is waiting for you. Heaven often works in ways that human eyes cannot predict. While others are focused only on what they can see, God is working beyond the visible, arranging moments that fit together with perfect purpose. That is why you must keep walking with hope. Every step taken in faith has value, even when the destination has not yet appeared. The breakthrough you are hoping for may begin with one simple act of obedience, one courageous decision, or one quiet moment of trust that changes everything that follows. Now stay with me for these final moments, because this is where your expectation should begin to rise. When this video ends, your story does not. In fact, your next chapter is just beginning. Walk into the coming hours with your head held high, your heart at peace, and your faith stronger than yesterday. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. And when tomorrow brings that unexpected moment, the one you never saw coming, you won't panic, and you won't doubt. You'll smile quietly, remember this very message, and realize that God was preparing your heart before He revealed His plan. Because the greatest surprise isn't simply what God is about to do, it's the person you're about to become when you finally see His purpose unfold before your eyes. There is one final thought that has been waiting for this exact moment, chosen one. If you have stayed with this message until now, then perhaps your heart was never looking for entertainment, it was looking for hope. And hope is never wasted when it is placed in God's hands. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The next 24 hours are not about chasing extraordinary signs. They are about noticing God's quiet faithfulness in the middle of ordinary moments. While the world rushes past what truly matters, you are being invited to slow down and recognize that God is already working in places you cannot yet see. Have you noticed how the hardest seasons often become the ones that teach the greatest lessons? Looking back, you can probably see moments when what first felt like a disappointment later became protection. What seemed like a delay became preparation. What felt like silence became the space where your faith grew stronger. The same God who carried you through those seasons has not changed. Don't skip, because something huge is waiting for you. He is still opening doors that no fear can close, still making a way where you cannot yet see one, and still turning uncertainty into purpose. The coming hours may hold a conversation, an opportunity, or a moment of peace that reminds you God has never stopped leading your steps. So as this chapter comes to a close, carry this truth with you. You are not walking into tomorrow by yourself. The one who knows the end from the beginning is already there, preparing what you cannot prepare for yourself. Walk with confidence. Choose peace over panic. Choose faith over doubt. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. And when the next 24 hours have passed, don't be surprised if you find yourself looking back at this very moment with gratitude, realizing that God didn't just change your circumstances. He changed the way you see your future. The greatest surprises often begin with a quiet step of faith, and your next step may be closer than you think.